Hi, welcome to our podcast, A Place at the Table. Today we have two special guests, Shelby and Mitch, two seniors who are graduating this year.
So glad to have you guys. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Thank you for having us. My name is Shelby Liebler. I am a senior here at the church, as Sarah mentioned. I'm graduating from North Mecklenburg High School this year, and next year I'm going to American University in Washington, D.C. to study public policy.
Okay. Yes, it's my turn. I'm Mitch, and I'm going to be going, or I guess Mitch Dreffer, if you want to know my full name. I'm going to be going to Virginia Tech and studying systems engineering there, and I'm going to be part of the marching band. It's going to be fun.
Ooh. Really? So how long have you two been members at the church?
So I've been a member, well, I guess not a confirmed member, but I've been a part of the church for my entire life. Literally, my parents brought me here before they took me home. Like, they brought little infant me in and, like, brought me to the sanctuary. And we're just like, here's our baby. And then took me home. So,
Wow.
I have grown up on, like, fellowship hall cookies, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The pink lemonade.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I first started going to a different church because we lived out in McConnell, a little bit further away from this church. But then we moved, and I started coming here like in kindergarten. So I've been here since all of elementary school, and then throughout like until now, basically.
And both of you were baptized here as babies?
Yes.
I was not baptized as a
but
baby.
baptized, yeah.
I was like 8 or something.
Yeah. And you guys got confirmed here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And how was that for you guys? How was being confirmed for you? Was it a big impact and change?
I'd say it definitely was a big change, mainly because you learn so many more of the details about, you know, how the church works, the foundations of Methodism and John Wesley and all of that. So I think that was, you know, like a very interesting experience. And also I had the wonderful confirmation leader, George Kelly. Shout out, George, if you're watching this. But, and I just had a really great group of people. I mean, Mitch was in my like broader confirmation class, and I remember going on like the confirmation retreat, and we got to experience all the different, you know, types of churches, different denominations. We even went to the Jewish temple here in Davidson, and I think that was just a really incredible experience, just to not only learn about our church, but like look at the broader picture of religion.
I agree. I mean, I really liked learning about the history of Methodism and like where it all came from. And it kind of got me more involved with the church. Like when I was in middle school, I didn't really do choir and bells as much as I should have. And then I became a lot more involved with it and meeting more people from choir and bells and from the church in general. And just, I had a blast at the church or at the confirmation camp and like setting up our Bibles and stuff. And
Oh
the
gosh, I remember
student
that.
Bibles.
Having the Bibles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We didn't quite have that because of COVID.
Yeah, what
Oh,
year was
gosh.
this?
We got confirmed in 2018.
Yeah.
I believe.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're old, elderly.
So true.
2021 or 2020?
2021.
Okay, I don't have any
Gotcha.
sense
Oh yeah,
of time.
y'all were fully mid-COVID.
Yeah, we didn't go on any retreats. Our
we
retreat
stayed
was
here.
3 days, or was it? It
No,
was 2
it was-
days.
yeah,
Was it?
2
Yeah,
days.
2 days here at the church. We didn't go to any
Do you
other.
guys have like the Zoom classes and stuff too?
There were
or-
some people that were
Yeah.
online, but we were mostly in
Okay.
person.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
My
And-
mom was actually our confirmation leader.
Yeah, it's true. And
That's
you,
one thing about confirmation is, I mean, I had like all these group of friends from choir and stuff, but none of them were really in my group. So like
Oh,
I
yeah.
got to meet other people
yeah.
that, because like usually like I just see the people that are in bells and stuff, but then I got to see like the other people that are in our grade. But it's like I knew them from school, but I didn't know them through church, and yeah.
Yeah. And you guys mentioned you were in choir and bells,
Oh yeah.
like us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is
When
that-
did you join for both of you?
So I actually popped in a little bit later than I think most people do. I kind of took a step back from church through some of middle school, and then on I believe it was my rising 8th grade mission trip, I like made some friends who were like, oh, you should come to choir. And I was like, I don't think I want to go till I'm in high school. But then my plan was to join in high school. And so then I kept coming to youth stuff. And then eventually I kind of just got dragged to choir my freshman year. And I'm so glad that it happened, because now it's, you know, one of my favorite parts of my life. But so I just kind of showed up in high school, and I'm very glad that everyone was really accepting, even though everybody had known each other for way longer than that. But everybody was so kind and so nice when I showed up, and it's been a great 4 years ever since.
Yeah.
When we first joined the church, my mom wanted to get me out of the house, so she put me here, and I was like in the little like baby chime choir. So
With
we
Miss
went
Patty.
yeah,
Oh
and
my
so I
gosh.
did that, and
You
then
were
I
in
like
that.
upgraded to bells and did
Oh,
all that
yeah.
stuff, and I was like in a few of the musicals and stuff
The
like
Bell
that.
musicals. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shelby has this great picture of me. And just like a full afro, wearing a Piggly Wiggly tie-dye shirt in the
From
sanctuary.
like the 3rd grade in Miss Patty's chime choir.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so like I started bells really early, and then in 6th grade I joined choir, and I was like in and out of it. And I didn't go on the trip because of my sister's graduation, which I'm still mad about that. I can't say that I went to Carnegie Hall. I still do. And then yeah, I guess like I really didn't get more involved until high school, and then yeah.
Yeah, that's where we are now. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Taking up the mantle.
So you've been here for a while and you are in choir and bells. Do you guys have like a big moment in your life where you've been at the church where it's really impacted your faith and pushed you or drawn you away from the church and God in general?
I think that I've always been, I've been more intellectual about faith than I think other people have. Like I really like learning about the intricacies of religion. Back when I was in like 8th and 9th grade, we had like a youth book study, and we read like Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis and like other more in-depth books about Christianity, and I found it really interesting. And there were definitely things in those books and in those conversations that pulled me closer to the church, and there were things that, pushed me away from it. So I think having that experience along with, the trips we've been on and the experiences we've had and experiencing all of the different types of places that we have, both in youth and in choir and bells, I think it's just more than anything has shown me a very holistic picture of religion, and that like even within our church, there's always going to be good, there's always going to be bad, there's always going to be strong points and doubts, and it's just, I think I've learned that it's a very beautiful duality.
Mm-hmm. I agree as well. I mean, I'm a very like science math person. I'm going into engineering, and so you always hear like it's either science or religion. It's like adding things, but I mean like I kind of see as it like you can put both together. I mean it's like we have all of these theories about how the world came together and stuff. It's like what really made those chances come together and do these things. It's like it's like God's like push these things together and like Big Bang,
Yeah.
And then so yeah, I that's kind of how I viewed it. Trying to keep my faith throughout like all of this learning and stuff. There's so much stuff, but I also think that just like going on all these choir trips and seeing all the different denominations and different types of churches that we've been to and how they all practice the same thing so differently, it really shows that like the Bible is just one massive book of poetry, and like anybody can interpret poetry any way possible. I mean, I was in AP Lit this way, and you'd be surprised. Every single one of us, there's like 20 kids in my class, and we read one piece of poetry. And every single person had a different thesis statement. I wrote about something different. So
Yeah. I mean, it's like that with, the church. I mean, on choir trips, we've sung in Catholic churches. We're going to Canada this year, and we're going to sing in an Anglican cathedral. We've been in, like, on the confirmation retreat, we went to, like, a non-denominational, like, rock band mega church, and we've been to Episcopalian. I mean, it's, seeing it all, and I think it's really interesting, knowing that all ties back to the same, 2,000-year-old Middle Eastern book.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Diversity, it's what makes us human.
So true.
So did you have any this is a weird kind of question. What's your evidence? Like, what is your kind of one thing that you would point to if someone asked you, why are you a Christian?
I would say it's definitely always come in music for me. Like, I've had my struggles with looking at the more textual part of it, looking at all of the miracles performed in the Bible, and also, controversy with the church, and all of the, quite frankly, the hate that has come out of Christianity, and the really terrible things that the church has done in the past. And, it can make it hard to, confirm that religion. But for me, there's always something that comes with when you're singing a really beautiful piece of music, or even just hearing it or playing bells. Like I know y'all probably know what I'm talking about, but just like the feeling in the air that you get, like it makes me feel like there's something else here. It's not just us. And I think that's what really grounds me in it.
I think kind of my evidence I would point to is like there's not really a point in living life unless you have something to go along. And so the Bible is kind of like that you have to have like faith and hope. And if you don't have these things, it's like, why, like, what are you doing on the earth? And so it's kind of like that motive that keeps me going, basically.
Yeah, it feels like a purpose.
Yeah.
Valid points. I feel that one a lot. Mine is kind of like this, like, there's no way all of the little details were organized this perfectly on like chance.
Yeah, I mean, with some of the like very intricate pieces of music we've gotten to sing, like this past All Saints Day when we got to sing the Rudder Requiem, like,
oh my gosh,
it's so good, and like just the chords, like what is it? I believe the fifth movement of it, "The Lord is my shepherd," is like there's just like this moment where like it all builds up together, and I'm like, there's something else that's pushing.
Yeah,
I mean, like if I had the choice, I would just make every single service something like the Rudder, where you just sing music the entire time. I would have a blast.
I'm like, there's something more here. It's not just John Settlemeyer destroying that organ over there, absolutely going to town. Like, if there's, that's my
absolutely,
evidence.
Yeah, the music is just awesome, and it really feels like you're connected.
Yeah. I think it's really I'm reading a book right now about like brain science with music. And did you know, fun fact, I think humans are the only like species that have been proven to like be able to process all aspects of music, like chords, harmonies, chord progressions, to like build that kind of genre interpretation, rhythm, like all of it.
Huh. Oh my gosh. I mean, I took AP Music Theory last year, and I can say confidently that I don't understand as a human. So, I mean, it's always fascinating to me, like the fact that all of this has been developed.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
But I think what really like pushes the boundaries for me is like music really hasn't changed for the past like 3,000 years. So like people were interpreting music the same way we are now, like 3,000 years ago, and it's just insane how like that's kind of like one control that we've had as everything's changed.
Yeah,
and it's almost always been used in this kind of religious sense, like art and music.
I mean, that's another very interesting part of the church that like we are sitting here in 2022 having just been through a massive pandemic. All of us are living in an incredibly different era to like Bach or like Mozart. Like they would look at us now and be like, excuse me? But we can sit down and sing the things that they wrote with their time frame in mind.
And still relevant.
Yeah, it's still relevant, and it still connects to the same concepts that we talk about every day. And it's so cool.
It's like Ave Verum. Like that was my favorite piece of middle school, and I don't think I've sang it since middle school, and we just pulled it out in rehearsal. And I mean, like, I haven't sang it since like years before the pandemic, and then we come out and sing it, I get the same feeling from it. So
it's kind of timeless.
Yeah, it's all so beautiful too. Like, and we have just a way of really capturing that, I feel like.
Go Kevin Turner.
Go.
Music ministry.
Yeah. Join choir if you're a youth. If you're a youth and watching, join choir, join bells. We would love to have you.
It's the Kevin Turner fan club. Come join us.
I know we sound like nerds, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. So kind of steering away from all the music. Youth has a youth group, and you guys have sort of been a part of that. We've had kind of a wild
I could do a whole podcast episode on this.
We've had a wild youth
even before the pandemic.
It was way before the pandemic.
Tumultuous.
We've gone through a lot of different leaders, and you guys were there for that. So if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Oh gosh,
Shelby's way more qualified than I am.
So I think I've done the math, and I believe that I have had 7 different youth ministers in my time at the church. Not going to go through and name all of them, but then, there's been a lot of different youth ministers, and there's been a lot of different styles of youth leadership and a lot of different personalities, and, it has its effects. I think it has led to some kind of feelings of tumultuousness in the youth ministry, but I think now Evan's doing a really good job, and I think things are finally starting to get back to a normal pace, and that feels awesome to watch. But for me, I got kind of connected to the youth ministry my 8th grade year. It was when Nick Gleishaw was our youth minister. Miss him dearly, but and I found a real connection. I mean, I formed friends my 8th grade year through the youth ministry that I still have now, and I talk to near daily. And I think it's just been an incredible part of forming who I am, just being in that community that's really centered around, church fellowship and faith and music. And, it's really pushed my life, and I think has given me a lot of direction. And being on youth council also, which I was on youth council from my freshman year to the beginning of this year for me. And it was a very cool experience to see the difference in leadership, and also just watch the youth group progress, both through good and through bad.
You were on youth council too, right?
Yeah, I am on youth council.
Oh, you
It's
still are?
definitely, it's changed so much, and it's gone through its ups and downs for sure. And I think a lot of it's looking up, and I think, because I was on it in 6th grade, so I kind of just sat back.
Oh, I remember you showing up.
I was like the only middle schooler in 6th grade, and all these like.
I know.
Junior
You're the only high schooler now.
Yeah, now I'm the only high schooler. But yeah, I mean, it's been crazy to kind of sit back and now take control.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as connected with youth ministry as I used to be, admittedly, but I think watching the current youth ministry, even when it's from afar, gives me a lot of hope for not only the youth ministry, but for the church as a whole. Because, through my time in, youth overall, there's been times where I'm like, I don't know if we're going to have a youth program next year. And I think that by watching the way that everyone has kind of banded together, especially after the pandemic, to kind of rebuild a program that, a couple years ago was looking rough, it's really hopeful to see.
I'm really glad about that too, because my brother, or I had 2 older siblings that both went here and were in the youth ministry and stuff like that, and when they were in it, it was like this, like, you had to be in it. Like, it was like the cool thing to do. And then but I after confirmation, I tried to get involved with it, and I was just like, there's something about the group or leadership, I don't know what it was, but I just kind of strayed away from it. But I'm glad that it's becoming one of those things where it's like, you should go to it, and you're actually going to have fun if you do.
There's definitely a sense of building back.
Yeah.
That's honestly kind of been everywhere too.
Yeah.
Like the seniors at Huff this year have like put in a good deal of work of like teaching all the underclassmen what high school is all about, because none of them had experienced a full year of high school until this year.
I mean, the youth overall, across the board, whether it's in church, in school, in just life, COVID has completely, I can't imagine for y'all. Going through your last year of middle school online.
Oh no, I had to miss middle school.
If I did not have my freshman year of high school, I do not know how I would have turned out.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I think that everybody's lives have gotten very interrupted, but it's good to see stuff is coming back together.
Yeah, it's weird to think of what it would have been like if it didn't happen.
Gotten a confirmation
If you would have told me 2 years ago that I would be sitting on a youth podcast today, I'd be like, there's still youth stuff at the church. Wow, that's impressive. But
it is wild.
Evan and Brittany are slaying. They're
Stan, Evan, and Brittany.
Always.
Yeah.
Dream team. Best duo. I think, are we at it? Is that our?
Well, we can think about how.
Do you have anything else you want to add? That was kind of our list of
our major questions.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
anything about youth that you guys really want to put in, or any advice maybe
Yeah,
for
advice.
upcoming youth since you guys are
Ooh.
leaving?
Yeah, I'd say talk to people. Like, going into church, whether it's choir or bells or youth ministry or even walking into some random event and you happen to see somebody else near your age, talk to them. Sign up for that trip you don't know if you want to go on. Make an appearance at something that you didn't think you would go to, because while it may seem awkward at first or it might be weird, everybody has those moments. But you would be surprised at how easy it is to make really good friends at a place like our church. Like if you commit to it and you really put yourself out there and talk to people, I mean, we have so many different types of people that go here. And it's always so incredibly rewarding to watch different groups of friends form, and also to be able to talk to people, talking to people, everyone from, age 11 to age, 75. It's a really
Yeah,
awesome
it is a cool
experience.
thing. It's
Yeah.
a great
Oh
community.
yeah. So, just reach out, go for it. That's my biggest piece of advice.
I would say put yourself out there. Like, nobody's gonna judge you as much as, like, I think when you have that feeling like, oh my gosh, like if I do this, everybody's gonna be like, oh my god, who's that weird kid sitting over in the corner? But like nobody's really thinking that. Like you're just putting that own ideal in your head, and you're just calling yourself weird, which I mean,
yeah, because everybody's been the weird kid in the corner. Like, everyone has experienced that moment.
Yeah. And I would say just put yourself out there. I mean, I could talk to a wall if I want to, so I just would talk to anybody I could.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a 95-year-old person or a 2-year-old, like I would talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
And I've met a lot of amazing people, and I've met a lot of not amazing people. But those not amazing people have made me who I am. Like, I've learned from them, and I know who I don't want to be in the future.
That's fair, and honestly,
That is true.
Yeah. The only other big piece of advice that I'd give, especially in regards to church, is ask the difficult questions. Like, if you have something that you're wrestling with, especially in regards to religion, like the best way to go about dealing with that is talking about it to people you trust, whether it be a friend, whether it be Evan and Brittany, whether it be, another member of church staff. If you unpack things that you're dealing with, they become so much more easy to work through. And when you're talking to people who have a lot more experience and a lot more advice to give, you can gain so much. I mean, I've had moments where I felt like my life or my understanding of religion or something else was in shambles, and I've been able to go and talk to someone here who, has a lot more experience than I do and has totally changed my mindset. So don't be afraid to do that.
I would also say, if you're the person with more experience, like if you see maybe like a troubled person or just someone who you think needs a little bit of help, go up to them and talk to them and introduce yourself, because they might open up to you. Don't try and force it out of them. But I think you should spread your knowledge as well and give back to what you've learned from, basically.
Yeah.
What's that one quote about, like, being the only Bible someone else will ever read or whatever? Like, I don't know what
I
that,
have no
that
idea.
is not the right quote. Acts like a good, like, act well, and then people will think well of Christianity and whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that is the way you're supposed to act, and that's what, that's what you're meant to be as a Christian. Yeah.
One more quick query before we sign off. College, y'all are going off soon. Do you have any plans for staying involved with religion, church there?
Go ahead. I've been going first this whole time.
I don't really know yet. I mean, I'm going to be doing nothing but school and band. Like, I have no other activities. I'm thinking about maybe doing rowing.
Ooh,
I don't know. It just seems fun to me, but I would like to do it.
That fits you. I can see that.
But I mean, like, I'm sure there's some sort of Bible group, or even just like a book club, or I don't know, something that like I can sit down and reach out to these people, and then find a church nearby that I like, and just go on from there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% certain what like is offered or what's actually active. I know I'm planning on joining the choir at American, so that's a cool group, and that always, usually has a tie to religion in some sort, because like
American.
yeah, that, and then also like I swear like 90% of choir music is
Choir.
religious,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm sure that will open some doors for that.
And innate
as well.
desire to praise the divine or whatever. Go on.
Absolutely, yeah, so true. Singing for Jesus.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think you guys are gonna fit great there.
Thank you.
Yeah, excitedly.
Ooh, excited for you.
Yeah,
We're gonna miss y'all. So.
yeah.
We're gonna miss you too.
yeah.
We're coming back. Don't
Oh
worry.
yeah.
All the alumni coming back.
Oh yeah, for Christmas. I'm so excited. The Christmas music. I love the Christmas.
Oh yeah.
But only for an extended period of time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get to come back for the good part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's awesome. You guys are gonna do great there. Gonna do
you.
great things. And thank you
Thank you
for
for watching.
watching and staying. We loved having you guys on for the podcast.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
You can hear the laugh.
Hi there. Welcome to This Thing Called Church, a podcast by
No.
you. Hi there. Welcome to A Place at the Table, a podcast by youth for youth. We're here to tell you with. Sorry.
Hi, welcome to our podcast. This shoot! Oh my god, I did it too.
It's
Can we?
hard.
I know. Can we? I got it this time.